Coming up today on This Is True Really News, in the second story, Cinzio Paulina De Leo. If you want to know what all that means,
she had a lot of names.
Hang tough through this crap and you'll find out after the first story. In the meantime...
You're calling my first story crap? Because it has a whale in it.
Well, there's going to be crap if there's a whale in it.
A lot of it.
All righty. So, like, subscribe, and follow This Is True Really News. Please, 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 please. We need the validation.
Sounding needy there, son.
Am I? Okay. Hey, look, I'm really needy to have you need me. I'm really wanty to have you want me.
So if you were on with Cheap Trick, it would be, I need Budokan. You to need me. Live at Budokan, if that's okay.
Anyway, if you have a story you think we'd get a kick out of, you can either, drop the link in the comments, or you can send us a link.
Live at Budokan.
Right. Or you can send us an email at titr@netradio.network. There.
Were they there before or after Shanana? There's another one for somebody to Google.
After Shanana.
Thank heavens.
I think.
Well, I mean, really, calendar-wise, that would be correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is True Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
In a thrilling real-life drama reminiscent of scenes from Finding Nemo, a humpback whale almost swallowed two kayakers off the California coast. I am really, honestly beginning to worry about Michelle. No, I am. I'm serious. I love her dearly, but I think maybe she bumped her head. First we get something from the New Yorker.
Yeah.
Then we get an update on your story.
Mm-hmm.
And now, whale and kayakers.
The
two kayakers were Julie McSorley and Liz Cottrell.
Okay.
Nearly swallowed by a humpback whale while whale watching off the coast of Avia Beach in California. Mm-hmm. One would think that that'd be a little too close for her. I don't want to watch the whale from the inside.
But that's, because you hit the
Although I suppose
lighter.
You get out your little whale anatomy book with your little flashlight. Yeah, that's a tonsil.
Okay. Where's the blowhole? I want out.
As unexpected as it is extremely rare. Hasn't happened, they say, since Jonah. But both women escaped unharmed. Oddly enough, the story is actually documented by them. They were there. And there were other witnesses.
Okay. So
it's
the whale
amazing.
Did try to swallow them.
They've tried to. We don't know why or how.
Okay.
Why am I hearing Ellen DeGeneres doing the voices?
Yeah, there you go.
Where was I now? McSorley and Cottrell carry the same message. The ocean and its inhabitants are full of surprising moments that remind us of our peaceful place in the vast ecosystem. Unless they would have chewed you up and
spit you out or pooped you out. Yeah, that'd be right.
Well, I'm thinking most parts of kayakers are edible.
We'll have to
now you have to look up Ansel Adams too.
We'll have to look up what's his name? Buell Gibbons.
That would be good. That was him.
Yep.
Many parts of a pine cone are edible. Yeah, they probably are, but I ain't doing it.
Yep.
Ever. The question I have is, how is it you almost get swallowed by a whale?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're very large. Don't you notice it?
Yeah, I think you do.
I mean, at some point, wouldn't it go, that's a big damn whale. Why is its mouth open coming towards us? Or something?
Yeah. Well, it might have come up from underneath where they couldn't see it.
And the question that actually bothers me, which it did.
No, okay.
The question that actually bothers me the most is, how do you get the taste of kayaker out of your mouth? It's just... Can you imagine the size of the Wrigley's gum that thing whale would take?
I do not see kerosene in a match. It's what I do all the time.
You do, or you do that to whales? You can't.
Oh, hell, man. I don't do that to whales.
Oh, good. I was worried there for a minute.
Cinzio Paulina De Leo had been hired to teach literature and philosophy some 24 years ago.
Easy for you to almost say.
She only showed up to teach her students during 4 of them. Apparently, she spent the rest of her time creatively using sick leave, holidays, and permits to attend conferences to dodge doing any work. On the occasion she did turn up, it was reported her students boycotted her lessons due to her laissez-faire teaching style. They accused her of texting during exams, not having a copy of the textbook she would be teaching and borrowing theirs instead, while also dishing out grades at random.
She's teaching like I student did.
Yes. Oh, yes, very much.
Okay.
Very much. During one of her
teaching and studenting aren't that different.
Well, if you play it like this. During one of her rare appearances at work, inspectors said her lessons were confused and she'd improvised before she was finally fired on June 22nd. However, this came after she took her school to court and briefly won her job back before revelations about her working habits emerged and the court quickly reversed its decision. Okay, you're free to go teach. No, you're not.
Yes, no.
The Italian Supreme Court blasted her permanently and absolutely unsuitable for the job of a teacher, despite her claims of having 3 degrees. Well, we wouldn't know that. You haven't been here. She's also branded the worst employee in Italy by her secondary school near Venice. When journalists approached DeLeo for comment, she said something in Italian. They weren't sure, Now, technically, she refused because she was at the beach. Shockingly, DeLeo isn't the only employee accused of cutting corners for their job in Italy. It was reported the public health worker Salvatore Scamacci, 66, cost the Italian state over £460,000 British after he claimed to work as a fire safety officer at a hospital for 15 years. However, he was only seen in the hospital once, the day he signed the contract.
Well, you don't want to overstay your welcome.
How is it took him 15 years?
Yeah. Hey, remember the guy that made the millions, was arrested for making millions off of manure that he didn't have? Yeah, I know. It's
so he was selling
a crappy thing to do, but
yeah.
He is now going to jail for better than 6 years.
Nice.
I thought, wow, that seems like a lot for, that kind of storm.
There's a lot of manure.
But then I read into it. I read further. This is just a quick update. I read further. He told police when they had arrested him that he had been in the Navy and once saved several soldiers during a fire by blocking the flames with his body so that they could escape. Nope, he made that up. By the way, 2 things.
Yeah.
Do not make up stories about your work in the service.
Yeah.
Because if someone near you, part of the arresting team, the janitor, if they have served their country, they're not going to like you.
At all.
And they know people.
Who know people.
Exactly right. Oh, and by the way, in the Navy, there's sailors.
Most of the time.
The Army has soldiers.
Yep.
And the Marines have
crayon eaters.
Marines. Devil dogs.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I just wanted to update that quick.
Leatherheads.
Because I have another legal story that's weird. Not quite as weird as all that stuff. A Minnesota man.
Ooh.
That's the really, really liberal version of a Florida man.
Okay. Telling you.
Minnesota man was arrested after an apparent outburst inside a restaurant where he allegedly began throwing Skittles at people.
Minnesota road rage.
There's a restaurant in Mankato. I like Mankato. Now it's been forever ruined. 19-year-old Tristan Statina allegedly entered a local restaurant when he began yelling and throwing Skittles at employees and customers alike. He was just willy-nilly scattering Skittles at people.
With weapons of mass sour, sweet and sour.
Sugariness.
Yeah.
Sure. According to a statement of probable cause, one of the victims told police officers she was hit in the back with a Skittle and died immediately.
And then I got better and he hit me again. So I died.
It merely caused a stinging pain in her back area. Well, that's because you got hit with something.
One Skittle hit her and she says it hurt.
Yep, and 2 when she was dead.
I'm just gonna raise the BS flag here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't care how hard you throw those things. You're an idiot.
I mean, unless you put an eye out, and then it gets cool. Responding officers saw Skittles all over the ground, as well as a bag of the popular candy located near the garbage. The 19-year-old, by the way, looks like he's about 12.
Was he just blessing everybody?
Except for the ugly tattoos. When police located him and arrested him, the suspect allegedly wrapped his legs around one of the officers trying to trip him.
The officer hobbled out with the guy on him.
He was resisting arrest. It took 3 police officers to get the kid to the ground.
Okay.
And off to jail he goes.
Yep.
He is being charged with obstruction of legal process, interfere with a peace officer, 5th degree sexual assault. It's 5th degree assault.
Oh, okay. Good.
Disorderly conduct.
Sure.
And 5th degree possession of Schedule 1, 2, 3, 4 drugs.
Skittles?
Not small amount of marijuana. I hope it's not the Skittles.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's something he ingested before he went stupid. Because, see, I know why it's not small amount marijuana. Because if he had used marijuana, he wouldn't be throwing those Skittles. He'd be eating them. From what I've heard from other people.
You've heard the masses sometimes cry out, "Trust the experts," right?
Dude, we heard that for 2 freaking years.
And then the latest report from CDC says we were wrong about everything.
You know, all those things we said were just conspiracy theories? Yeah, we missed. Okay.
Yeah. Well, worse. They knew it before they told us.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they had foreknowledge.
That would be
lying.
That would be bad.
Yep. So here's one of those, how can you trust the experts when they behave like this stories? The day after Jane Silikowski gave birth, a doctor came into her room and told her she'd failed a drug test. She insisted she'd taken no drugs and asked if the poppy seed bread she'd eaten recently could have caused the result. The doctor responded, "That's a plot from Seinfeld, not something that could actually happen." In fact, the bread had caused a false positive, but the hospital still contacted Erie County Child Protective Services, which launched an investigation and required the new mother to undergo drug testing and counseling at her own expense. Right? I'm thinking the lawsuit's going to clear this up.
I would, I'm trying to imagine how whacked the judge would have to be to miss this, so we're okay.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.